Hey guys, Buffer Gaming back today, bringing you another favorite weapon video for Warzone weapon series, and today we're covering the MCX Virtus Patrol. So this weapon I'm going to go over two different builds that I particularly really like and enjoy to use in Warzone, whether it's in solos or even duos, trios, and quad gameplay. So if you're not familiar, the M13 in-game is actually, in real life, the SIG Sauer MCX Virtus Patrol. We're going to be putting in the attachments on this weapon to turn it from the base MCX Virtus into the Patrol variant with the 16-inch barrel on the weapon. I'll show you, as I said, the two different builds that are very similar, but also I think serve two different roles, mainly depending on how you're trying to play and want to control your recoil. So we'll jump into that. I'll show you how to build these, and I'll actually walk you through a solo win here at the end of the video. So let's go ahead now, and we'll back out and jump right into the video. So here's my one of the final designs that we'll be reviewing today for the SIG Sauer MCX Virtus Patrol. Again, this one here, you can see this is going to be one of our two builds that we'll be using here. So let's go ahead and back out, and what I'll do is I'll take the camouflage off this weapon, and we'll start from just the base weapon itself here. I will strip all of the attachments off. So first off, I'm using my custom SIG LVAW, or low visibility assault weapon blueprint here. Also, I have built that off of the tank blueprint. So if you're not familiar, I believe this was a season 2, very end of season 2 or possibly early season 3 blueprint that was available in store that I was able to purchase. The blueprint video for that is on my channel. If you want to check that out, you can just search Buffer Gaming Tank Blueprint, and that should come up, or you can find it there on the channel. But that's the blueprint there that we're going to be using for this. Again, I saved that from my custom SIG LVAW. I have two of those different builds here. You can see one of two, both very similar. So we'll be using that base tank blueprint to build this weapon. So first off, the first build we're going to use is going to be utilizing, you'll see a mixed gameplay here. The muzzle we're going to go, this is going to be very similar to the other build too. We're going to go ahead and use that monolithic suppressor. So for this one, sound suppression and damage at range are our pros. The cons here are the ADS speed and the aim walking steadiness. Now, just to switch things up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and do the Blue Jay variant here for the suppressor. So we'll go ahead and put that on. And now for the barrel, we're going to go ahead and do the Tempest Marksman. So again, this 16-inch chrome moly barrel, that's going to turn it into, from the base MCX Virtus into the MCX Virtus Patrol, which I believe is the standard barrel length for the weapon itself that comes with that 16-inch barrel. So you're going to have the SIG MCX Virtus Patrol. The pros here with this barrel are going to be the damage at range, bullet velocity, and the recoil control, which are all really good pros that you want for this weapon. The cons here being the aim down sight speed and the movement speed. So again, for this one, we're going to switch it up and go from the base barrel. We're actually going to select the Blue Jay. And this is, again, this is a free blueprint available once you purchase the Season 4 Battle Pass. So go ahead and select that. And you can see the differences there, mainly just, I'll probably do a blueprint video, but you can just see the color change of the interior barrel, as well as that left and right Picatinny rail there is also changing color to a bronze type color. And we have Forged Tack now visible on the side. So go ahead and, again, select that. We're going to actually skip out on the laser, and for the optic here, I'm actually going to run the 4x flip. So this is going to assist us with the zoom level, as well as the holographic and the flip toggle here, so we can go from a base holographic sight to the 4x flip when we need to, which is always good to have. I'm a big proponent of being able to go from a base 0x magnification to a higher magnification when I'm engaging at longer range. It's, I feel, very, very important in Warzone especially. So the cons to this are going to just be the ADS speed, since we're adding that extra weight to the weapon. So go ahead and select that. We're going to go ahead and use the base stock for this one. Again, this is really personal preference. So if you want to swap out some attachments, you can go with the Forged Tack Stalker for the aim and stability, or even the M13 Skeleton stock to assist with the ADS speed and the walking movement speed on this weapon. We'll skip out on the perk. And for the underbarrel, we're actually going to go to the underbarrel first. So the underbarrel on this particular build is going to be a bit unique. We're going to go ahead and use the Merc foregrip. So this is going to help us with the recoil control and the hip fire accuracy. You can use this, or even the Ranger foregrip is also a very good option for this weapon as well. But since the Merc foregrip, I feel, doing the testing, I know Drifter and Exclusive Ace did some videos on this showing that the Merc foregrip actually has a better effect for most weapons on fighting the vertical recoil of the weapon and keeping those first few shots right on target. So we're going to go ahead and select that. The other pro here being the hip fire accuracy, which really we're not hip firing that much with this, but since it is a longer barreled weapon, that won't hurt when we need to if we get in sticky situations. So that'll help. The cons here, aim walking movement speed and the ADS speed. And again, we're using the tank blueprint. You can see the base is just standard black foregrip versus the tank, again, is that green camouflage on the weapon as well. So go ahead and select that. And then the next one, we're going to go ahead and utilize the 60 round magazine for this. So we're going to go ahead and select the 60 round. Again, this is personal preference. I'll show you a build you can run if you're don't want to use a magazine attachment on this. But again, 60 round magazine. The pros here, we're going from the base 30 of the 5.56x45 NATO rounds to a 60 round magazine. This is going to increase our magazine ammo capacity. The cons here being the ADS speed and the movement speed, since we're packing double the ammo in the magazine. So this mainly is for duos and above if you're playing duos, trios, and quads. I also have used this in solos just because I happen to have it selected and I do like it a lot. But I'll show you one you can do also without that. The next attachment there, we're going to go ahead and select is going to be... Actually, we don't have any more attachment slots for this build. But this is the one build, again, that I showed off in the beginning of the video. So this is one really good build that I like. And again, for camouflage, I go ahead and put the standard woodland, modern woodland on this one. And I think that has a really nice look to it as well. Just run it like this. I prefer the standard. I really like the standard no camouflage on this weapon, but just to switch it up with this weapon, I've been running a little bit of the woodland camos lately, which I think look really good on the weapon. Now, if you don't want to run a magazine attachment, you can go ahead and deselect that, go with your base 30 round magazine, and then you can use the other attachment for something aesthetically pleasing like a tack laser. I really like this. Is going to assist with the ADS speed, aiming stability, and aim walking steadiness. The cons are just that the laser is going to be visible to enemies. So go ahead and do that. You can also just swap that out for either a stock or even the grip if you wanted to do ADS speed increase there. But again, this is more of an aesthetic build like this. But the only problem I found with this in solos is that the M13 has such a high rate of fire that I really needed to utilize that 60 round magazine just to be sure that I have enough ammo. I'm not reloading and running out of ammo too fast, because sometimes, especially when you down people and they have self-res, you want to be able to finish them off and not get stuck in a reload. So this definitely ensures that, and I prefer running the 60 round magazines just because of the high rate of fire of this weapon. But that is one build that I really like. Now, the other one that you'll see we'll be walking through the gameplay with, we're just going to swap out the optic as well as the grip here. So everything else is going to be the same. We're going to go ahead and switch up the optic. Is going to be the VLK Rogue. So this is that Russian 3x magnification sight. So this is key here. This is the only 3x magnification sight in the game. All the other ones are either going to be 3.25 or, like we just looked at with the 4x flip, is going to be a 4x magnification. So this is kind of that perfect magnification level to help mitigate the recoil to where you're don't have a fully automatic firing penalty to where you're really noticing the recoil as much as you would with something like a 3.25 or even a 4. It's going to be less recoil just because of the magnification level. Similar if you were to run a red dot on this, you're not really going to notice the recoil as much because we're not magnified in. Whereas if we run like something like a 4x flip, you'll be noticing that recoil out of the weapon a little bit more, and you'll have to fight it with either your thumb or your mouse, either or, to help mitigate that recoil. So we'll go ahead and select the VLK Rogue. And again, you'll see a little bit of gameplay here, and this is what we're going to use in the single player or the solo win walkthrough. Now the underbarrel, we're just going to swap out the Merc for the Commando. This is going to do essentially the same thing, except it's going to help with the recoil stabilization, which is a little bit more aggressively fighting the horizontal than the recoil, or than the vertical, excuse me, but it will also help you fight with the vertical as well. The other pro here is being the aiming stability, which is definitely very key. The only con here being movement speed. So this is one of the 2 underbarrel attachments you don't take an ADS penalty for. So we'll go ahead and select that. And this is the other final build, which we'll be running through in the solo video. And again, same as before, you can go ahead and throw a woodland camo on this, is what I'm currently running on this build. And then for the reticle for this VLK Rogue, I think the base reticle is really nice, you can see there. But however, in some situations where I'm in firefights, I lost track of that red dot. It can be very subtle depending on what the background is that you're firing into. So I prefer to run something like the cross dot, just to give me a clear, easy to see yellow reticle on there, and I'm able to get shots on target at longer range and not lose track of where I'm supposed to be aiming and miss my shots, which can get bad if you're in crucial situations. So we'll go ahead and select that. And that is our final design for our SIG MCX Virtus Patrol. Let's go ahead now. We'll run through a solo win in Warzone using this exact build here. And again, I've had a couple wins with the other build that I showed off too. This one, I think they're both very equal. You'll see, I would have shown you the gameplay by now, but this one in particular is one that I got a pretty decent win with. However, I've had high kills with the other one as well. So I think they're both equal, but we're walking through the solo win with this. So let's go ahead and switch over to that. Okay, so here we are. It's getting close to the end circle of this game. This was a really slow start to a solo game. For some reason, it wasn't really running into anybody. I was able to see whereabouts the final circle was going to go, so I made sure to get high ground over here. And here we go. I just ran into somebody who just came back from the gulag, unfortunately for him. And he must have parachuted down there without me noticing. Able to take him out pretty easily. Now we cut a little bit forward. You can see the circle is forming here. I knew there was someone down here just because I heard fire earlier, and there he was. And I'm not sure what gun he was using, whether it was a Grau or not, but he got some decent hits on me there and almost completely broke my armor. But again, this particular reticle and the optic on this MCX build does a really good job at fighting recoil. So you don't really have a fully automatic firing penalty, similar to what you would see with the Grau, running that with the VLK Rogue, or even no optic on there as well. So I think this optic complements this weapon very, very well, especially with the Commando foregrip that we're running here as well. So again, you can see that orange mark down there. I did notice a guy down there, which I was able to get a shot on him and down him. But again, he's going to come back later here in the video as we go ahead. I'm able to down him, and then I'm going to move on, reposition. And he pops back up down here again. I'm able to crack his armor, and you can see he's right near the edge of the wall. I'm going to put another marker down there. And again, I'm going to shift my focus to see if there's anybody else down to my left when he drops an airstrike on me. So smart play by him. Now it forces me off of that hill, so I'm giving up high ground. And this guy just happens to come out at the wrong time. And again, you can see just complete laser beam with this weapon. Very little recoil at certain ranges. Very easy to control. Now, it's one-on-one at this point. It's that same guy that I've already downed and broken his armor. I saw him running to my left, so I'm going to try and flank and get on a flanking route on him. Again, I can pick him up on the heartbeat there. So he doesn't have ghost, where at this point I do. So he's not going to notice where I am. I'm not sure if he saw me move to this position. Trying to track him, and here basically my idea is debating whether I'm gonna run through the gas and try and get a hard flank on him or not, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not picking him up on the heartbeat anymore, so I don't want to have him hear me running. So I'm gonna decide against that, try and hug this wall for as much cover as I can. And again, I'm picking him up again, so he's got to be somewhere in front of me. So I'm gonna try and push up this wall basically as slow as possible once my gas mask breaks. And then there he goes. He pops out, and he gets some decent hits on me. I don't think I hit a shot right there. And again, boom, there we go. Just threw the C4 and got him. So he must have been decently hurt. I think at that point he was completely out of plates. And again, I've been struggling with wins at this point, so I took it out on his dead body, which, you know, I don't really like to do that. But at that point, I've been getting just growled nonstop for probably a couple hours at that point. So that win felt good to just win with the C4 again. That guy had me dead to rights at that point. The only problem there is he missed his shots a little less than I missed mine at that end point, but he ran out of armor. I had broken his armor enough earlier with that sniper rifle that he didn't have anything to counter with. So let me know down below what you guys think of this weapon, what your favorite attachments are. Again, this is the M13, converted it into the SIG MCX Virtus Patrol for Warzone, my two favorite Warzone builds. For this particular build, we also have the LBAW, which I've showed off in previous builds as well. But let me know down below what your favorite build to run is, and I'll leave you with that. Until next time, this is Buff Nerd Gaming, out.